Hello everybody, this is me, Hua, and today we'll be reviewing the Transformers Ultimate Banzai-Tron from Super 7, same metal packaging. And yeah, so we'll just get this open. And oh yeah, they did come in this like little plastic protector sleeve thingy. Oh shit. I accidentally knocked into that. That was my bad. I'll just bring that down for now. Okay, maybe just go a little closer in. I'll just move this back a little. I notice this one kind of sits more flush with the box. But the top is a little dented. But I love how the font looks like the old 90s font. Which is pretty cool. Of course, it's the same as Optimus. You get a nice image of Banzai-Tron. Says Decepticon on the side. Banzai-Tron. And on the cardboard box, you guys saw earlier, instead of the Autobot symbol, has a Decepticon symbol. Oh yeah, and then you can see Banzai-Tron stats. He actually has some pretty high stats for a Decepticon. But yeah, pretty nice. Not much to talk about there. It's just a box at the end of the day. But yeah, I'll actually bring out Banzai-Tron, and Banzai-Tron is interesting in the sense that I have a weird connection with this figure, or its character, I should say. I don't have the original Action Master, but I do have. It was okay. I gotta kind of explain this. Back in the day, I wanted that Revenge of the Fallen Bludgeon. But Revenge of the Fallen Bludgeon was one of those figures that just eluded me. Never saw in my area. So I never got it. And I fucking hated that. Because his aftermarket prices at the time were fucking nuts. Oh yeah, he's his partner. Because I remember it was during Hunt for the Decepticons. They did a repaint of Bludgeon and just slapped Banzai-Tron colors on there and then called it a day. And yeah, I picked it up because it was the Bludgeon mold, and I was like, this is probably the only way I'm going to get it. And I think I convinced my dad, saying like, oh, we're probably never going to see this again. Hilarious thing, I was right. Never saw it again. But we bought it right then and there, so wasn't an issue. But yeah, a little funny at it. A little funny story there. But yeah, and I've had a weird liking for the character since then. And I've since gotten that Revenge of the Fallen Bludgeon. Mold's nice, has some problems, mainly hands, but yeah. But that being said, when I know the Ultimates first came out and they were doing Banzai-Tron, I like had my pre-order faster than you could like fucking blink, but like those first initial reviews are really kind of making me kind of not want to buy them, especially at the $40 price tag, which I am still hesitant on Wave 2 because I don't know if the articulation is going to be on par with these guys or better. If it's better, even if it's just like marginally better, like I will accept having a 90-degree elbow. So close. So fucking close. Just need to cut it a little more. They did it. Bugs me. But yeah. Anyways. He's very faithful to that original Action Master. Down to every little last detail. This little guy looks like it too. But there's a couple problems. One, this is a solid piece of plastic, hard plastic too, might I add. So you want to be careful because you could possibly break these. I don't see you being able to do that unless you careless and leave this thing on the floor and step on it or something like that. That's the only way I can see this breaking. Or, God forbid, you put it somewhere high, like on a shelf, and then it just goes falling down, and you happen to have like hardwood floors or something, and it hits the floor. If you have carpet, I say it'll be fine. But hardwood or like like tile flooring. Fucking forget it. You might get lucky, but yeah. Because in the original toy, these legs would come off, and then you could attach them here for gun mode, and then this could flip out for a gun. But since it doesn't transform, you can't do that. But you could still do a thing that you could do in the original toy, although you would connect it actually to the barrel here. But on here, you just kind of you do that, and there you go. But I'm just going to do that once because I don't want to be rubbing the fucking paint, which the paint's kind of already chipping on there. And that only chipped because I had the toy Optimus head on there. It was just from that. The toy head's a little more shallow, so. But yeah, no, that I don't know. It is what it is, but it's just kind of it's I don't know. Bugs me a little. It looks to be that his legs are painted or molded gray and painted this lilac. Cause and yeah, and he feels nice like Optimus, but he's definitely lighter. Like you definitely feel that he is lighter. But he still feels good. He still has that same feeling. I can't even imagine how fucking heavy Grimlock's gonna be since he's Dino mode. But yeah, so you got him in his robot mode. We'll go for articulation. You get about the same as Optimus, even though in theory he should have better range. I think he is more up than Optimus, and then definitely more back. That's just to be a given. Optimus is about the same articulation as Optimus. He should have better ankles, but just how they design the legs kind of says fuck you to that. Optimus does have better ab crunch. His does exist, but it's kind of useless. His arms can only go up that far. He doesn't have that hinge thing like Optimus, which honestly he needed that so he could get better poses. His arms, if you rotate it ever so slightly, you can get more articulation than you could with Optimus. So there's that, but yeah. Oh, there is a bicep swivel, but Optimus also had a bicep swivel. That's not really anything to write home about. Of course, you get wrists. The wrists operate kind of similarly to that Optimus. Head's using the same system there, but due to Banzai-Tron's head shape, you kind of get less. I will say the ab crunch does work better looking upwards. So, you got that going for it. But yeah. And here's his face just for a close-up. Pretty nice. Very Banzai-Tronish. You get his gun here, which is actually out of a softer plastic. It's not like completely soft. I would recommend bending it all the way. But it is softer than like Optimus's gun or like what's his name? Or like it's harder than the Red Prime's gun, but it's softer than than this, which is a hard plastic for the Ultimates Prime. And then also you have yeah, it's just the soft plastic. I reckon that's probably so it wouldn't break when you're doing that. That's my guess anyways. And because when you combine that together, it's the gun handle that would hold it in place, but like I just it's just too much. You do have multiple hands. You got some fist hands. You got this little hand, which you could do that one pose from I forget who did it, the art. But yeah, there's a pose where he's like using those hands and he has like an open hand. He's like kind of like that. But yeah, you have another gun gripping hand. The gun doesn't really grip too well just because of how it is, but it stays there fine enough. It's not the worst connection ever. It's better than most Masterpiece figures, just due to how these hands are kind of fixed. So in theory, holds it better. But yeah. And then you got like this grasping hand, and then a other trigger hand, and that's it. That's all of his accessories. Comes with a lot less than Optimus, and yet they're the same price. Kind of boggles my head a little. I don't know how you could charge the same price for a figure that feels heavier and comes with a lot more accessories. I assume it's because you can get more repaints out of Optimus, whereas Banzai-Tron, you really can't get any out of him. I suppose you could, if you want to go really like niche with it, you could get like a G1 prototype Banzai-Tron, which would have a different head and I think different shoulders, like ever so slightly different. But like, yeah, because those colors are different. But yeah, oh yeah, I'll just show you how it kind of goes in. You just kind of bloop. There we go. And we'll just gotta. Oh yeah, and then what's weird though is only this arm hinges up for the gun hold. This one doesn't. But however, because you got the grasping hand, you can kind of do like that pose, which is actually kind of cool. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll do some size comparisons now. So you got Banzai-Tron, you got the Optimus, you got the... Oh wow, okay. Well, I'm not going to actually pause to cut that just because none of the background was seen, so we're good. Just a little whoopsies. NECA Jason. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. Trying to work with this. Okay. NECA Jason. We got a G1 Optimus. We got a Legacy Galvatron. Okay. And a Studio Series Sludge. And a Transformers Red. Transformers Red Optimus. And for the last comparison, here is a minifigure. Yeah, no, Banzai-Tron for me is a much easier recommendation than Prime, weirdly enough. I think that's mostly because Banzai-Tron hasn't really had a proper toy. And since he was an Action Master, honestly, this is probably the most proper version of this character you're getting. Like, I'm being dead ass serious. Like, you're not getting anything better than this. Like, at all. You're just not. Like, if Red did a Banzai-Tron, it'd somehow be a retool of a Bludgeon. I bet your ass Hasbro do that because they're lazy as fuck. Most of the time. But, yeah. But that being said, though, Banzai-Tron's a really fun figure. I just like his design. I'm a little biased there. But he's a fun figure, despite some of his articulation flaws. He's still fun to mess with, and unlike Prime, you could actually kind of fledge Banzai-Tron in since, well, he was never in the cartoon, so you can't really say, oh, that size is inaccurate. Argument. And honestly, he's shorter than Galvatron, so in my book, that's good. He might be taller than that Earthrise Megatron, but I'm fine with that. And can't wait to get Bludgeon to have them next to each other, even though one's a pretender, one's an Action Master. But they'd be nice. And honestly, I'm looking forward to Super 7 doing more Pretenders and Action Masters because, okay, I'm just going to say this right now. If they do an Octo Punch, I'm buying that shit faster. Like no tomorrow. Just hitting enter and being like, yeah, no. Getting that. Because that would be fucking awesome getting an Octo Punch. But also, they do any of the other Decepticon Pretenders, like the monster-looking ones, not the humanoid ones, but the monster-looking ones. I'll pick them up, like Bombburst, Skullgrin, Submarauder, I think it is, the Master Force trio essentially. I'd pick them up. I wouldn't pick up any Autobot Pretenders just because they kind of look stupid. That's just my opinion. The humanoid looking ones are always the lame ones, in my opinion. The only humanoid looking one I'd pick up is the Thunderwing, just because it's Thunderwing and he kind of looks cool. And if they were to do a Thunderwing, I hope they would give us a couple head options for that, like a comic head, which is pretty much the same as a toy. And then I would love to see like a IDW comic head with it as well, just for shits and giggles. Just so you have that option. And then I wouldn't be opposed to seeing a repaint of that into what's his name, Sky Shadow from Victory, from Transformers Victory. Yeah, that would be neat. But yeah, characters like that I don't mind. I'd love to see more Pretenders and Action Masters. An Axor would be nice, because they can get a circuit out of that too. Try to think of what else he could do. Get repaints off of. If you did a Wheeljack that was more Action Master styling, you can get a Slicer out of that pretty easily. Trying to think who else could you get some pretty easy repaints. Because, well, with Tracks, you get Road Rocket, but they may want to change that. Unless they go for like Toon accuracy, or not Toon accuracy, but they more of a toyetic look. And then I think you could probably get away with that one. There's not really a whole lot of Pretenders that are repaints. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot. There's only like a handful I can think of off the top of my head. Because I know if you do a side swipe, you could probably do a G2 breakdown. Because the club one from ages ago, that was technically a bootleg, but was it? Or it was a bootleg. Weird how that is, but yeah. Shit. Yeah, Action Master usually didn't reuse the molds, so I'll give him that. But yeah, no, I would love to see like Action Master original characters get done in these lines. It was weird to see Bombshell in his Action Master form. I'm saying I wouldn't be opposed to seeing an Action Master Thundercracker. Because how weird those colors are. It'd be beautiful, but that's me. Anyways. Oh yeah, then you could do that an Action Master Starscream out of that too. Huh. Potential. Anyways, this has been me, Qua. I do recommend the figure. But just be warned, the articulation isn't anything spectacular, but it ain't dookie water, and they do feel better. I'd recommend buying them right now, because right now they're still hovering at the prices I was buying them at. Granted, I think they went up closer to the $30 range now. Not 100% certain on that, but pretty certain. So, buy them before they get back up to 40. Because for me, it's a little tough, at least for Wave 1, to be like, oh yeah, pay the 40. But, at $30 or below, oh yeah, I can fucking recommend these easily. But yeah, This has been me, Qua, and I hope you guys liked the video and all that cool shit. And yeah, peace.